Hi there, my dear friends. You are most welcome. We are here to share our views on how we can build the Africa we want. So, my last video I was spoken about 4 things that will undermine the development of Africa, and if it is not about undermining, also it will make Africa poor, because these 4 things is on the peak that is distracting or disrupting African development. One thing is about green energy, another one is about loan, third one is wars, and lastly I spoken about food insecurity. So today I want to speak about food insecurity because this is a big topic. As you look today, Africa, we are suffering with food insecurity. While Africa, we have horrible land like this. Africa, we have good weather for making sure that we can produce enough food for our people. But why Africa, we are suffering with this shortage of food? So according to my view and according to my experience when I'm trying to move around some parts of this continent, I discovered one thing, and if I'm wrong, you will correct me. I discovered that today, Africa, we have taken the good soil, fertile soil, on the end of investors. And these investors are from outside of this continent, and they are producing food, and they sell this food outside of this continent. So when Africans, we are saying that we have horrible land, we have fertile land, so at the same time we are attracting investors. I have no doubt and I have no problem with investors, but we are attracting investors to come to invest in agriculture. For instance, there are some places where you see the village is removed from areas where there is a fertile land and horrible land for agriculture and given to a single investors. So the people are lived in the place for many years. Today we find one person who was a capital, we call him or her investors. Then we'll move all these almost many people, more than thousands of people, from one place to give that place to the investors. And what is very shocking is that these investors, yes, investing by hiring these local people. These local people are using a lot of time participating in the farms of investors. So it means these local people are not producing their own food. They are working in the farms of investors. When it comes to harvest these crops or these food, these food are going to be sold or to be sold outside of this continent. It means even those who are doing agriculture or who are participating in these farms who are owned by investors, they cannot benefiting from those food. The food is taken away to Europe, to China, somewhere else, and we say we have sold, we are exporting food, or we are exporting this and this. So it means even our people who are working in those farms are going to suffer with lack of food. So we are using a lot of time to work for to the farms of investors, and the investors take all those food to their home places or to where they want to sell. So it means Africa will remain with nothing. That's why I say this is very dangerous. If we are not careful, Africa will have good land, will have horrible land, but we never produce our own food because we have allowed this to happen to our continent. There are some countries that are depending on Africa for food, and are the one who taking our land, taking our horrible land for agriculture. Look at the technology that we are using. The people are using hand hoe. We are depending on rain season to produce. While we have people who have capacities to create machineries, to create dams for irrigation agriculture, why we don't do so? That's the question that we must ask ourselves. And this is very, very paining. As you see around, you see our young women are suffering, are working hard, and even we young men in Africa, we are not contributing much in agriculture. Today in Africa, agriculture is being done by old men and women. We young people, we are not participating fully in agriculture. So for 10 years to come, 20 years to come, up to 50 years to come, Africa will continue to suffer. And we will suffer more than today because we are not preparing for tomorrow. That's why I said this will be my separate topic about the food insecurity. Look at the issue of fertilizers. We have allowed our people to use fertilizers in the soil where there is fertile, and these fertilizers has been affecting our soil so that without fertilizer we cannot produce. Before, our ancestors are using manure. Yes, we have manure. If you look around, you see we have cows like this. So we can use the manure from these animals to produce or to make our soil fertility. But we are using fertilizers. Today we are suffering with a shortage of fertilizer because of the war between Russia and Ukraine. It means we can't produce. So for how long we'll continue to suffer? Let us remain to the basics as Africans. Let us add the technology where we are instead of depending others to tell us how to grow crops, how to do agriculture. We want to do like Europeans, we want to do like Chinese, we want to do like Americans. It can't be the same. Even the environment is so different. Look, today it is very sun, it is very hot. We have shortage of food, but we have horrible land. We have enough water. Why the people who are acquired this knowledge of agriculture, new technology, they can't help our people? So we are waiting someone to come and take the area like this. The whole area will be taken by a single person. Then he will say, no, you are not supposed to enter to do agriculture, so let us produce for you. Don't expecting someone to feed your people. If we are expecting someone to feed our people, we will suffer, and we will continue to suffer. That's why I said, and I promise you, my dear friends, that I will speak about this, and this is the reality. The reality is that we have allowed others to define us, to teach us how to do our things, the things that we have done before them, like agriculture. Agriculture has been done in Africa before any countries, and other countries are not depending, are not doing agriculture activities. Only Africa, we are the one who are doing these activities, but we have forgotten and taking our end in the hands of investors. Yes, we need investors to come and investing in our mother continent, but let us allow even Africans to be the main investors. Let us change the mentalities that even black people can become investors. We have attracting foreign investors more than local investors. Let us allow local investors to invest in agriculture, in industries. Even though we don't have enough capital, let us mobilize and create one thing that is great and good for the future of this continent. Also the people in the diaspora, this is another opportunity. So don't expecting that the Chinese will come and will feed Africans. Don't expecting that the Chinese will come and do agriculture here and sell this food to Africans. They will take these foods to their countries where there is no horrible land, where there is no good weather like Africa. So we need Africans to invest in Africa. That is what I mean here, that the time has come for Africa to produce what we consume and to consume what we produce. Thank you.